So this morning, she lived and died in what many call a house of horrors. Prosecutors say Laura Cummings was abused by members of her own family for most of her life. So why didn't anyone intervene? Call for Action's Al Vaughters has more in this morning's special assignment. Al?
Well, sheriff's investigators call the brutal murder of 23-year-old Laura Cummings horrific from the very beginning. They found this quiet North Collins woman with mental and physical challenges had been abused most of her life. Those who knew and loved Laura are baffled that county social services would not intervene as this tragedy unfolded. This is the apartment on Sherman Avenue where 23-year-old Laura Cummings spent most of her life, described as a tortured life, which ended brutally and savagely on January 21st. This is the bathroom where authorities found Laura's body.
On the bathroom floor,
yeah,
right
she was
here.
laying on the bathroom floor, and they found her, and they said all she had was a T-shirt on.
Some have likened the apartment to a chamber of horrors because of the abuse Laura and her siblings suffered at the hands of their mother, Ava Cummings, who's now charged with Laura's murder. Luke Wright, the oldest brother, is charged with raping, sodomizing, and murdering his sister.
Almost like a living hell. It was, no child should ever have to go through what we went through.
Older sister Patricia Wright was sexually assaulted by Laura's father. Patricia, her siblings, and other families who helped raise them are angry that authorities didn't save Laura. They specifically blame Erie County's Department of Social Services, which was involved when they were children, and pleaded with Adult Protection Services to remove Laura after brother Richard Cummings, an airman stationed in North Carolina, learned she was seriously injured.
And told them, you know, you need to really investigate this because I know that there's something going on in that house. And they just would not do anything. They said that they needed a warrant to go inside the house to do anything.
Richard sounded the alarm to North Collins Judge John Stevens, who alerted social services twice.
I got a phone call a few days later and said they could not find any evidence of abuse and that the charges were unfounded.
Laura's family and friends have been told when caseworkers investigated those complaints, they never even went into the Sherman Avenue apartment.
Rotten food, old food.
We asked Social Services Commissioner Carol Dankert how far caseworkers went with their investigation back in February. She told us state law does not allow her to discuss the case.
We certainly would ask for access, but if the homeowner did not want us to enter the premise at that point in time on that initial visit, we would not.
But Rhonda Frederick, the chief operating officer for People Incorporated, told us if there was any doubt about the need for intervention, county officials could bring in the state.
If they suspected the individual that they were interviewing or looking at had a developmental disability, that they would contact OMRDD to come in and do an investigation.
Just how critical was checking out those living conditions?
I wish they would have gone in. I think the apartment would have told a lot about the living conditions and about what was going on.
Eva Cummings and her son Luke Wright are set for trial on murder, rape, and sodomy charges this October.
Now, Al, have county legislators weighed in on this issue?
Yes, in fact, Joe, they have. I talked to County Legislator Thomas Mazer from Cheektowaga. He says he's inviting Carol Dankert, the Commissioner of Social Services, to his Health and Human Services Committee meeting next week.
Certainly is a horrifying story.
Sure it is.
All right, thank you very much, Al.